Check, check. I think we're doing okay. No feedback. Check, check. Check, 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 check, check. Yo, yo. Check. 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 Check, check. Okay, this just seems to be working the best. Okay, I'm going to turn off that. Okay, let's see. It's working. Sit. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Alex Bourne from Rockwell Guitar School in Shoreview, Minnesota. Um, this Theory Thursday. This is Thursday. Oh, dang it!
This Theory Thursday. This is Thursday.
It's feeding back. Okay, sorry about that. Um, I'm trying a new thing now, and if you've been tuning into the Rockwell Guitar page, and you're following it, there we do every Thursday we do music theory. We talk about music theory, and we have done 84 lessons, probably about 21 different weeks already, and we've gone through um, the the Sandy Feldstein book on music theory, Practical Theory Complete, and we are through with that. And now we're going to move on to the Berklee Harmony curriculum. For those of you who don't know, the Berklee College of Music is in Boston, not California, and this is Berklee, Berklee, which is pretty widely known as one of the best schools for jazz, for learning jazz and learning jazz performance and things like that. And they have cranked out many great jazz stars, well, not just jazz stars, but rock stars, great musicians like I know all the guitar players like Steve Vai, Mark Whitfield, who played with D'Angelo, and Chris Bodie, and um, Emily Remler, John Abercrombie, who's a famous jazz guitar player. Um, who else? Kevin Eubanks from the Tonight Show band. Jay Leno. Um, Let me see. John Schofield. Um, I think Pat Metheny taught there for a while. Um, yeah, Steve Vai, John Mayer. I mean, it's just the list goes on and on and on. So it's a really good school. And these books that we're starting today are the foundation of their music theory curriculum. And they are available on the internet. You can download them. Um, and in case you're wondering about um, copyright laws, don't worry, we're covered because this is educational. We're covered by the Fair Use Clause. I don't know if it's clause, but the Fair Use Copyright Act, um, I think in 1972. So just look up fair use, and you can see, that anything that would otherwise be copywritten, um, anything that is copywritten can be used freely, if it's for educational purposes and, um, satire or critique or commentary, news, education, reporting, things like that. So, so we're covered for that. And the place that I found it, if you just go to here, let me get my desktop here. So I'm going to bring this in. Actually, if you search Berklee Harmony PDF, Berklee Harmony PDF, and so these will work, but this one down here is the best. So click on that, and then you can see it over here. Berklee Jazz Harmony 1, 2, 3, 4. You click on those, and you can download the PDFs. And these are the actual the actual books that they use in the music theory curriculum. Okay, cool. So you know where to find them. That's what I'm going to be using. And that's that. Done with my desktop. Switch over. Okay. So some of this is going to be review from the Feldstein book, and you'll just have to bear with it. There's a little bit of overlap, but the Berklee book moves a lot quicker and gets into a lot more advanced, abstract sort of jazz theory a lot quicker than the Feldstein book, and it describes a lot of topics in a different way. A lot of topics that the Feldstein book covers, the Berklee book will kind of describe in a way that gets you ready for that prepares you for the jazz theory that you find later in the books. So you just have to hang tight and then you won't have any gaps in your understanding. Okay, so here it is. Harmony 1. This is what the book looks like. See if I can, wait, I don't know if you guys can see this. Switch my desktop here. Okay, cool. Okay, so just like the Feldstein book, this book starts off right at the beginning, as if you know nothing about music. It starts with the 5-line staff, and shows you that the notes that are higher up on the staff sound higher than the notes that are lower on the staff. And basically, lets you know that you should associate higher notes with higher pitches and lower notes with lower pitches. Okay? Okay. And then it jumps right into clefs. So as you can see already, this is a little bit different from the Feldstein book. Each line and space of the staff may be assigned a letter name. The letter names are arranged alphabetically in ascending order. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. The location of the letter names is determined by a clef placed at the beginning of the staff. The following examples use the F clef, also known as the bass clef. And it's called the F clef because these two dots are centered around the line that represents F. I don't really know why, but nope. Okay. So is that the right one? Okay, yeah, I just had some confusion on the pages here. Wanted to make sure I wasn't skipping anything. Okay. So then you have the treble clef, also known as the G clef, because this little swirly thing in the treble clef circles around the G note. Okay, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, the C clef locates middle C on the middle line, or in some cases on the 4th line. So this is the C clef, also known as the alto clef. Actually, one of these is the alto clef. But in any case, this fancy little curly thing here kind of indicates the note C. Okay, so that the center of that is the note C. Note that the music alphabet goes from A to G and then starts over. Okay, so A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. The grand staff is the G clef, also known as the treble clef, and the bass clef kind of bracketed together. And this part that joins them is called the bracket. A lot of this is review, from the Feldstein book, but we'll get into it quick. I mean, you can already see, we're talking about ledger lines, and that was, 20 lessons into the Feldstein book. So this one moves a lot quicker. Small lines called ledger lines, those are these little lines right here, are added to extend the staff. Okay? So it basically tells you that you should continue the pattern of lines and spaces that you were taught. It goes in alphabetical or reverse alphabetical order, depending on which way you're going, up or down, and then the notes around that. Notice that the notes in the spaces directly below or directly above the staff do not need added ledger lines. I think they're trying to say that these notes don't need ledger lines. Okay? Anyways. Okay, to summarize, pitch placement devices used in music notation are the staff, which shows the high and low relationship between different notes, the clefs, which locate pitch names given to lines and spaces of the staff. I'd say maybe a better way to say it is kind of gives you a reference point for the lines and spaces of the staff. The ledger lines, which extend the 5 lines of the staff for higher or lower pitches. Okay, so anything on the staff will be kind of measured with a ledger line. All right, cool. Next page. This is a handy little chart that will show you. So we got a piano, a keyboard here. We have clefs here, and we have notes on the grand staff right here. So this is middle C on the piano. It is literally the C note that is in the middle of the piano. And then, so that's okay. So this is middle C. This is the reference point for this clef, and this is where it sits on the 5-line staff. Okay, that's what it's trying to tell you here. And then it looks like this note on the staff. Okay, this note and this note are the same thing, by the way. Okay, which is kind of deceptive because that's why they call it middle C, is because it's in the middle of the both of the staffs. And yeah, okay. G clef or the treble clef. Okay, here's the G that it references. This is the note. This is what it looks like in treble clef. And here's the same note. The same note in the bass clef. Okay, they should have treble clef and bass clef here. Here is the F clef, also known as the bass clef, and this indicates this note, uses that note on the keyboard, and it's the same thing as this note in the bass clef. All right, so kind of ties everything together there. All right, accidentals. The foregoing, the foregoing information about the grand staff covers the letter names of the white keys on the keyboard. What about the other 5 notes, the black keys? In order to maintain the integrity of the alphabet, the other 5 pitches are represented as alterations of the basic 7 pitches. The terms used are sharp and flat. Sharp equals a half step higher, written as this symbol. Flat equals a half step lower, written as this symbol. C sharp is the pitch. So just an example, a C sharp is the pitch 1/2 step above C and a half step below D. The sharp sign is placed before the note for reading purposes because you read left to right. It would just be a little bit courteous to your sight readers to let them know that you want this note to be sharp because they read left to right. They'll see the sharp first, and then they'll see the note. Okay? Versus, if it was on the other side, they would see the note and play it and realize it was sharp and have to adjust. So that's why that's there. Okay? Any questions? Feel free to ask me anything. I mean, this is live, and the idea is, that if you have questions, I can answer them right away. So, okay. Next one. The names of the 12 notes in ascending order are A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, so on and so forth. The series of notes is called the chromatic scale. These notes of the chromatic scale may also be examined in descending order. Okay, like so. As with the sharps, flats are placed before the notes to which they apply. Okay, for the same reason. Sight reading. Note that there are two options for naming the 5 black key pitches. D flat or C sharp, E flat or D sharp, etc. When there are 2 or more possible names for the same pitch, it is said that enharmonic spelling is being applied. Okay, it just means it's the same note on the keyboard. Okay. So here you have another little chart here that kind of ties together the notes on the staff and the keyboard. Okay, so you can see that F sharp and G flat are the same key. That goes for all of these here. Okay, so 2 different names for the same key, basically. All right, once a sharp or a flat has occurred in a measure, there must be a means of canceling, neutralizing it, so the note reverts to its unaltered condition. The symbol used for this is a natural. That looks like that. Collectively, sharps, flats, and naturals are called accidentals. Within an octave, that is an 8 consecutive letter names, like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then A, that is 1 octave, A to A, there are 12 half steps. Okay? So A to A within an octave, 12 half steps. Like white key to black key to white key to white key, so on and so forth. In certain situations, it may become necessary to raise or lower a pitch by 2 half steps. The symbols for these purposes are double sharp, okay, that's what a double sharp looks like, and double flat. That one's pretty self-explanatory. These symbols are also called accidentals. So these are also categorized as accidentals. Okay. Now, the rules for sharps, flats, naturals, double sharps, and double flats are: a natural cancels a sharp or flat. Okay, you learned that in the Feldstein book. A single sharp or flat will cancel a double sharp or double flat, respectively. Okay. One natural alone will cancel both double sharps and double flats. An accidental remains in effect for the duration of the measure it is in, or for the duration of tied pitches inside a measure or across the bar line. To raise a note which has already been sharped, use a double sharp. To lower a note which has already been flatted, use a double flat. An accidental only affects a specific note in that octave, in that clef. All other notes of the same name are not affected. Okay. Oh, did we pass some homework already? I didn't want to pass the homework. Oh, we did. Okay. Okay. So I originally wanted to just do the lesson up to the homework numbers. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So fortunately, I already got that called up here. Here is the homework. It's in the same book. I just opened a new window. So we could look at it quickly, get to it quickly. Okay, easy stuff if you made it through the Feldstein book. Identify by pitch name all the following pitches. Okay, remember alphabetical order, line space, line space, line space, going up, and reverse alphabetical order, going down. Okay, so here we have C, D, E, F, G, G, A, C. Okay, notate the melody in example 1 above in the bass clef. Okay, use the ledger lines when necessary. Both examples should sound exactly the same on the piano. All right, so this is a C. You need to put this. Okay, so it needs to be in the same octave. Remember that our reference points are different with the bass and the treble clef. However, they meet in the middle. So this C would be one ledger line above the bass clef. Okay, and then you just kind of plug everything in from there. Make sure you're going up in the right increments, up and down in the right increments, and using the same rhythms. Okay. Identify by pitch name all the following notes in 2 of the C clefs. So all you have to remember is the curly thing centers on the note C. So it establishes this line as C, and you just plug in all your answers from there. So obviously this one is C, go one up, that one's going to be D, you know, you get it. Okay, now the C is in a different place, it's on this line. So that note is going to be C, that note is lower, is going to be B, that note is higher, it's going to be D, okay, and just name all the other ones accordingly. Okay, write this short melody. Remember your name. Write the short melody, 1 octave below. Okay, so remember this C is 1 line above bass clef. In order to write it 1 octave below, you need to go to the next C and then plug in your notes. Watch the accidentals, 2 octaves below. Okay, so this would be C 1 octave below. You're going to have to go all the way down here. See, I think 2 ledger lines below that one to start. 1 octave above, okay? So this is back to treble clef. So we can go up to here. Here we have a C. That line is C. You just start there and plug in everything. 2 octaves above. All right. Now this is going to be pretty high off of the treble clef, but by now you should get the idea. All right. Let's see. We're going to 8. Notate chromatic motion between the given pitches. Observe the rules governing accidentals. All right. So you kind of given a melody. You're given a range with 2 notes. Okay, you have like an F and an A here, and you have 3 different places to fill in the musical gaps. Okay, and they want chromatic motion, so it needs to be half step at a time. So here's F. This note's going to be F sharp. This note's going to be G, G sharp, not an A. Does that make sense? So just do that for the rest of these. You really don't have to worry about rhythm right now. They kind of force that on you, which is not a bad thing at this point. And yeah, I strongly suggest that you play the resulting melody. It could be really interesting for you to hear everything. I think you're going to learn a lot more. Rewrite the previous example 1/2 step higher. Okay, so now it's getting challenging. You got to write all this stuff 1/2 step higher. Good luck. Have fun with that. All right. Identify by name all the pitches. Identify all the pitches by name is what it should say. Then place the number for all notes of the chord in the appropriate key of the keyboard below. The first example is completed. What? I'm not sure I understand that one. Place the number for all notes of the chord. Okay. I'll get back to you on that. That's number 7. Okay. 8. Complete the following enharmonic pitch chart. Okay, so this is kind of a grid of notes here. Okay, here you have all these clefs. Watch your clefs. Be careful. Remember, treble clef and bass clef have different references. And then up here, you want they want natural notation. So basically, no sharps, no flats. Okay, some of these you can't do, like C sharp. You can't put that in natural notation, okay? Flat notation, though, it would be a D flat, right? Double sharp notation, it would be a B double sharp, okay? Double flat notation, I mean, you couldn't do, it would have to be like a, what, E flat, double flat, which is actually a E triple flat. So can't be done there. Okay. Now on these other ones here, you have different ones are given, and you kind of have to fill in the rest. Okay. So let's try this. Here we have an E sharp, right? Flat notation can't be done. Yeah, can't be done for flat notation because it's the same as F, and you can say G double flat, but you could put G double flat over here. Double sharp notation. That one couldn't be done either. It would have to be D sharp, double sharp, which is actually D sharp, triple sharp, or D triple sharp. Natural notation would be an F, right? Because E sharp and F are the same note on the piano. Okay, so go ahead and do those, all those here. Remember, watch your clefs and really think it through. It probably helped to play it on the piano too. So, all right, that's it. Let me see if I have any questions here. Hey, shout out to Alex Guerrero. Thanks for liking this, man. Okay, so no questions. I guess I don't have anything else to do here, and we'll see you next week. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, just hit me up in the comments, and love to hear from you. And thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Happy holidays. Peace.